Have you ever been asked to describe yourself as either introvert or extrovert, serious or playful, courageous or cautious, spontaneous or planner? If you're anything like me, you've probably had a hard time answering because I like to think of myself as all of these things at different points in time. Internal family system psychologist Richard Schwartz says that within all of us is a complex family of personalities, which he calls parts. These parts are the reasons we can simultaneously have so many contradictory and confusing needs. The Oracle of Delphi's admonition to know thyself should really be to know thyselves. Your parts can sometimes have you feeling like a social butterfly, talking up a storm with the entire room, while the next day you talk yourself out of leaving the house due to social anxiety. What people often do when they experience a part of themselves that they don't like very much is feel shame. What's wrong with you? Why would you stay home? You're such a loser. Or how could you talk to your boss like that? You know better than to make a fool out of yourself. That inner self-hate is no recipe for love. If you treat your mind like a garbage can, how can you possibly expect to invite a partner who treats you like a king or queen? The right ingredient to manifest love is to start with holding space for your many parts, or simply put, radical acceptance. Remember, there's nothing wrong with you for being upbeat one day and moody the next. You are simply a human being having a very human experience. Now, the wrong thing to do is to have those negative feelings and then beat yourself up for it. More often than not, your negative parts hang around longer than necessary because you're not giving them the attention and acknowledgement they need. Before telling those painful feelings that they're not wanted, simply be with them, sit with them. I used to teach third graders at a Jewish after-school program. Now, imagine a child wanting to sit at a desk for another 2 hours on top of a full day of school. Yeah, said no 8-year-old ever. Anyways, I had this one boy in my class, Josh, who was the class clown. When he would act out, the entire room became uncontrollable. Everyone would burst out laughing and they would jump on their chairs. And I, as the teacher, I felt really powerless. So I used to threaten that if he kept it up, I'd send him to the office, or I'd threaten him that he wouldn't be able to engage in the fun activities with his classmates. But that didn't work. It just riled him up even more. So after a while, I realized I had to change my approach. So I said, Josh, why don't you come sit next to me while I teach today's lesson? And he smiled real big, pulled up a chair, and reveled in the special attention. So I thought to myself, wow, Ayelet, you found the key to handling difficult people and difficult emotions. See, Josh represented one part of a whole classroom. And he was the difficult emotion that needed some love. If your parts are going unattended to, you might find yourself looking for escapes to fill the void, such as drugs, shopping, pornography, diets and exercise, or fatty and sugary foods. Our society offers a bucket list of ways to quote unquote make you happy. But these are all really poor substitutes for what you're really craving, which is human connection. So another kind of happiness exists that you can experience, whether you're in relationship or not. It comes from the sense of connection that happens when all your parts love one another and are accepted by yourself. When I get reactive or express frustration towards my husband, I no longer beat myself up for it. I check in with the part of me that is looking for connection. And then me, myself, and I send love to that part. And more often than not, this leads to my ability to take responsibility for my behavior and to come back and apologize sometime later. We all have parts, it's how we were created. And the first steps towards healing and manifesting the love you want is to first fall in love with the person looking in the mirror, with you, with all of you, with all your parts. As Shakespeare used to say, one man in his time plays many parts. For a deeper understanding of your parts and how they work, I highly recommend you check out the computer animated film Inside Out and let me know your take on it. Sharing is caring, so if you liked what you've heard, pay it forward. And as always, happy manifesting.